Oh my gosh, there's something so strange going on here, and I have to share it with you. This is getting crazy, The age of AI is just wild. Like, we're going on a roller coaster essentially, and things are changing pretty quickly because look, one of AI's early creators says that you're already behind and you do not need a PhD. Listen, in a now viral clip, Jad Tarifi, one of the original engineers behind Google's generative AI team, made a chilling statement, okay? He said it's already too late to get a PhD, to cash in on the AI hype. Let's just let that sink in. Meaning, if you have not been behind the scenes on the back end, learning tech, learning AI, learning generative AI, even if you're in marketing, graphics, science, accounting, finance, virtually every single industry, then there will not be a market for you in the future. Let's let this sink in for a moment. A man who literally built the AI wave is now saying the door is closed for academics, for degree chasers, and for those who still believe formal education is the golden ticket. So now what? What are people supposed to do now? If AI is moving faster than traditional systems can keep up, if degrees are depreciating before the ink even dries, and if Google insiders are waving the red flag, then people who win in this next era are not the most credentialed. Instead, they're going to be the ones who are the most creative, adaptive, and self-led. Yes, talking about the freelance economy and the collapse of academic ROI in the age of AI. Let's talk about the return on investment here, though. The average PhD takes 8.2 years to complete and racks up between 80,000 to 150,000 US dollars in costs when factoring in opportunity costs and debt. Yet, by the time many finish their dissertation, the very AI tool they studied has been already evolving or been depreciating their degree. Now, let's compare that to self-taught freelancers, AI engineers, and consultants who have built profitable GPT-based tools. They've been freelancing with different companies. They've been landing multi-5 and 6-figure contracts just from their GitHub portfolio. They've created entire media brands like the one you're watching right here, using nothing but their own creativity, ChatGPT, Midjourney, and maybe Loom. Okay, according to Zippia, only 2.2% of PhD holders work in AI directly. Ooh, and over 66% of AI freelancers are actually self-taught using project-based learning, and they create their own communities and product launches, just like what you see on this channel. My gosh, this is not an attack on education. This is a revelation. The game has changed. And listen, this does not mean that education is not important. Instead, what it means is that scam education is not important. Nobody is gonna put in 150K in debt, 50K in debt for a job that maybe pays you $25, $30 an hour. And then when you go to retirement, they end up taking your retirement. Who has time for that? We want free time. We want to be self-reliant, and we want to be able to live life on our own terms. That's why we become entrepreneurs. If you know, you know. Chime in down below and let the folks know, because education consulting is still booming. It's just not happening in universities. Get this, that global market for education consulting is expected to reach 4.2 billion by 2028, according to Grand View Research. And you may say, why is that? Well, let me tell you, because people no longer trust the system. I know I don't, and I know you probably don't either. That's why you watch this channel. But I just realized we're about 4 minutes into this video, and I was just so excited to get to this content because I'm in education, I'm in consulting, I'm in marketing, I'm in business, I'm in finance, I'm in the brunt of everything that I'm discussing today. Check out www.tiffygwrites.co or follow me on LinkedIn and Instagram. But I was so excited, and I realized that I didn't ask you to even hit the like button. And that's something that I always do because I think reminders are important. See, in marketing, we are very confident and okay with reminding people on what we think they should do because people forget sometimes. Like sometimes you come here and you may be like, oh, I forgot to hit the like button, but I really did like that video. When you're scrolling on YouTube and you actually like the content, you maybe forgot to subscribe to the channel, you forgot to like it, and it's cool, right? I'll give you a moment. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for liking the video. I truly appreciate it. Share this with every person in academia that you know. Share this with every freelancer. The freelancers are happy, the W-2 workers, it's just gonna take some adjusting. You may wanna get a career coach, an executive coach, so you can really switch your mindset, because unless you have been freelancing and really know the nitty gritty, I mean, I've been in business for 9 years. It's gonna actually be 10 years in April. Can't wait for that. But unless you've been behind the scenes and you understand the nitty gritty of how to create a portfolio, how to pitch yourself, you understand sales strategy as a self-employed entrepreneur, then this is going to be difficult for you. And that's why he's saying you're behind, okay? And I happen to agree with him. I mean, I can't imagine being a W-2 employee that was laid off by the federal government. On top of that, not having a side hustle, not doing that consulting business, not doing some type of, if you're an artist, you can create art curriculum. If you're a dancer, you can create dance curriculum. If you are a food blogger, you can film yourself making recipes and create your entire brand. If you're an accountant, obviously we work with accountants and CPAs and tax firms. There are so many ways to start your business and start your side hustle. But for those who have really just been like, oh, I don't want to do it, now's not the right time, these are the people he's talking to that are left behind. They're just like, well, I have my PhD, I have my master's in this, but these people are unemployed right now and in all of this debt. And I think it's really sad. And so if that is you, I totally empathize with that. But I will urge you with my entire spirit to tell you that you need to learn marketing and sales. You need to know how to build your own consulting business, create a product, bring a product to market, create a go-to-market strategy, travel, and have an international network, hands down. And if you are in education, if you are a teacher, think you can help homeschool parents integrate their AI curriculums. You can support school districts in AI learning. You can train professionals on how to package their knowledge products. You can come in and tutor. You don't have to do like Teach English online tutoring. You should have your customized go-to-market product marketing strategy that you have for your own small business, okay? And guess what? Most of these people do not have PhDs. Some of our clients are actually getting partnerships with African governments in Southern Africa, okay? Across entire different continents, countries, people are getting partnerships. They're meeting the market. They're not waiting and saying, oh, I gotta wait for this job that's gonna hire me for $35, $40 an hour. They're actually going out and getting larger contracts than teaching a team or creating AI agents. There's a plethora of different ways that you can run your operational consultancy, but the core issue is that you need to do it now because times are changing quick. And even though these people may not have PhDs, what they have is relevance and real-time insights, data. Data is the new currency. If you were to look at Palantir and how much that stock has increased in the last year, your mind would be blown. And this should tell you where the market is going. This is why economics and finance is so important when it comes to business, because at the end of the day, freelancers, for example, I know this like thoroughly because I'm behind the scenes working on these tech contracts. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. I'm telling you, they are not hiring W-2 employees for these roles. They are specifically looking for freelance consultants explicitly in their descriptions as people that they want to work with. And they onboard them so quickly. They're paying $85 to $150 to $200 an hour on a contract basis for somebody that has a defined process. Okay, I was even thinking maybe I'll do like a WhatsApp group or some type of school group or something, or maybe something behind the scenes for people who are really interested in the evolution of their career and pivoting into these contracts, because there is money to be made. Although the federal government is laying off, although tech is laying off for like some of these people they used to pay $300K a year, $400K a year, you can now work with a freelancer and you don't have to keep them the entire time because we are business owners. So we don't really care to work with you for the next 5 years, to be honest. We want to work with you 3, 6, 12 months, then we moving on to the next client. And from the business owner perspective, if you're working with a freelance entrepreneur that has all of these data points, for example, I've worked with over 250 different businesses just in the last 9 years. Now, if you look at that from a data approach, I have so much data, not only in my head, but that I've documented in Notion, I've documented in different systems, in Asana and Monday. And so there's a big pool of information that I can actually provide to these tech companies. And I believe that you should be doing the same thing. I'm telling you, these roles are paying hundreds of dollars per hour, and you do not need a PhD. Okay, they want to pay you, but only if you're a freelance consultant, because the issue is if you're a W-2, they feel like they don't have as much of a data pool with you. They feel like, okay, you've been at your job for 5 to 10 years, but you only know that job. You don't know the different places in e-commerce, in finance, in real estate, in D&A, in education consulting. You don't know different systems. You know one system, right? And so that is where you have to switch your mindset, because the old way of doing work is gone forever. And literally, this is exactly what we teach in Black Educators Amplified. We are closed for the 12-week experience, but you can get the mini course down below, okay? Because freelancing in the age of AI is the quiet revolution. I'm so thankful to the Most High. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm thankful that I was obedient. Sometimes it takes a level of obedience even when you don't understand the trajectory. But I go back to when I was 21, and the Father said to me, he said, leave your job and start freelancing, start freelance writing. And I was so excited because I love writing. I'm a writer by, like, I've written since I was just old enough to speak. Your girl started writing, okay? And so I was happy to do it. And now that I see what's happening, I see why he had to position me in that way, because the Father knows everything. The Father knows the end from the beginning. And so you have to think that obedience was so critical to what we do out here in Africa, to what we do all across the world, to signing international clients with ease, to not having to go through 3 interviews and network with this person. Your portfolio, and I understand people network, that's great. But when you are top tier in your industry, the networking is not your main asset. Your main asset is your portfolio, because when the right person sees it at these multi-million, billion-dollar companies with Series C and Series B funding, check out LinkedIn. Y'all may want to go follow your girl on LinkedIn. I'll be dropping gems, okay? When these companies see that on your profile and you're speaking their language, again, you have to be willing to not speak the language of the masses. This is not influencing. We always teach this in Black Educators Amplified. This is not content creator, like do the most popular. This is like big money contracts. This is like work on big projects long term. Get good testimonials, get a good portfolio, and continue moving. Document what you've been doing. This is why I've been blogging on www.tiffygwrites.co for 9 years straight. Unending. 9 years straight, I promise you. That's the level of consistency that is needed if you want to still be making cash in the age of AI and you do not want to be replaced by a robot, okay? Because freelancers are outperforming traditional firms in key sectors like AI consulting, UX writing, marketing automation, and AI prompt engineering, obviously. According to Upwork's 2025 Trends Report, 79% of companies say freelancers help them respond to market shifts faster. Why? It goes back to the data pool. Think about a W-2 employee that has worked at Microsoft for 10, 12 years. They know all about Microsoft. They know the ins and outs of their Microsoft Teams meetings and all this stuff. But when you try to get them to integrate into Monday, into Asana, you try to get them to integrate into HubSpot, into Klaviyo, into MailChimp, into all of these different software providers, they're frozen because they've been stuck in one mode for 12 years, which used to be an asset in the old economy. But now this is the age of the freelancer. This is the experience economy, as I've been calling it for over 2 years. This is, you need to have a great portfolio, and you need to not wait on somebody to tell you what to do to get that portfolio. Meaning, if you feel like you're brand new and you don't have any freelance contracts, create a portfolio today and start documenting what you do well. I have instructions on my blog. If you are wise in these times and you're serious about moving abroad, having international security, getting to the bag, getting your coins together, because a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, then I would go read my blog. I've written so much content the past 9 years, and if you would read it and just take that advice, you'd be in a fabulous spot, okay? You'd be in a really great spot. And listen, Upwork also states 62% of freelancers earn more with AI tools than they did before. I can attest to this. We have integrated AI automation into our workflow for this channel, and it has been fabulous. Like, you guys think that we work like 3, 4, 5 hours a day. Guys, as long as this video is, plus about 20 to 25 to 30 minutes is about as long as we work, period. Then I go back to homeschooling, taking a walk on the island, taking a walk with my husband, getting some ice cream, doing something else, taking a nap, because sleep is important when you are a breastfeeding mom of 5 children. So God, you really need to just be, you need to be aware of these things. And I'm so honored and privileged to be able to give you this information freely with this video. Now get this, the average hourly rate for AI freelancers, this gonna blow y'all mind. Hold up. I want you to guess what you think the average hourly rate for AI freelancers is now in 2025. I'm gonna give you a moment, I'm gonna sit back. What is the average hourly rate for AI freelancers? Drop it down below. I'm about to tell you. You ready? Are you ready? It's $103 an hour, up 43% from last year. So while some are still hoping for tenure or chasing a master's in machine learning, others are quietly building income systems, building audiences, building international futures from a laptop on an island, okay? Some of us are literally, some people may be near the Sahara Desert, some people may be in Spain, they may be in Bali, Indonesia, they may be in Thailand, and they are doing better than the W-2 worker because they were willing to document their process online in the public and create a portfolio, period. And this obviously tells you self-taught portfolios are replacing degrees, period. If you do not know GitHub, Substack, MailChimp, Kit, like ConvertKit, email software provider, Gumroad, Notion, these are the new diplomas. They're gonna say, where did you study? They're actually asking, what have you built? How do you think? Can you show me your results? That's why the most powerful asset that you can build in the age of AI, hands down, is a self-taught, high trust portfolio, something we walk through with our Black Educators Amplified students in real time. So here's the reality. Whether your website copy positioning is getting you consulting gigs, or you have case study vlogs showing what you've been able to produce, or you create content calendars for restaurants that you do graphic design for, your work speaks louder than your transcript ever could. This is why these roles, these tech contracts, these B2B contracts do not ask for degrees. They ask what your experience is, okay? And here's where it gets real. Black professionals and educators are often underrepresented in tech. Listen, we like to be very much fearful about every single thing on the planet Earth, and it has to stop, or we're going to get left behind, period. We like to be and this is across Africa, the diaspora in the UK, the diaspora in the Caribbean, and America. We like to have this like self-righteous, like, oh, I'm better than everyone because I don't know that stuff over there, and so I'll just sit here. And that's not helpful. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help your children's children. It's not going to help your nieces. It's not going to help your nephews. It's not going to help your cousins on the continent. And so you need to get in the industry and understand what's going on from the inside out. I'm not saying rely on it for everything. I'm saying have discernment and understanding so you can come with your own conclusions and you can pinpoint what needs to change, what needs to stay the same. For example, I'm going to submit to you, and I'm probably going to be the first one to say it, from my experience dealing with these AI hiring workflows and things of that nature, what I'm seeing is that AI actually curbs a lot of racism. The reason that I'm saying that is that you would have racism in the workplace in like marketing, sales, all very white, European looking areas in America, okay? And so you would have that bias with the interviewer, but if you are interviewing with AI if you're interviewing with a company that has not integrated racism into it, like the one that I'm working with some of these B2B contracts. B2B means business to business. C2C is company to company, right? Because we have a business, we contract business to business. And so if you are working with some of those firms, they don't care about the color of your skin. They don't. Instead, what they're looking at is your response to the prompts and the questions that you are being asked when you are having these sales conversations, period. And that is an opportunity. That is why tech can be super amazing for the diaspora, whether they're in Africa, whether they're in Switzerland, wherever you are in the diaspora. Tech is really going to be that edge where it's like racism will no longer exist in those industries. Because at the end of the day, if your asset is so valued and then you know the value of your asset and you're pricing it appropriately, it's like they can't say no. You fly through the process quicker than everybody else because your asset is so valuable, and I want to help you create that valuable asset, okay? And so listen, I'm gonna leave you with this. Stop chasing the old playbook. You do not need another degree to be qualified. You need clarity, authority, a real story that's documented in public. You need to be able to adapt quickly, and again, for the people to see. The AI pioneers already made their billions. The academic gate is closing, but the independent gate, it's wide open. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Check out the blog for free resources. I teach so much on email marketing, AI automation marketing. I teach workflows. I teach engineering. I teach storytelling. I teach empathy, narrative focused stories. I teach you how to write better because writing is the lifeline of any business. And I believe communications is the lifeline of everything that we have on this planet. So I'll see you in the next video.